you see results for 2, 3, 4 months and then you have a relapse. I've heard somebody say like they fast for 18 hours a day, and it's just like, guys, we're borderline on ED right now. You can't keep lifting baby weights. Yes, I'm talking to you. And there is already a lot of you who pull like once or twice a week. Your bowel's not moving enough, and then you're drinking alcohol to still limit your bowel movement. That's a recipe for disaster, and that's why you're always bloated, because you're literally full of shit. Sleep also helps maintain a healthy weight by regulating appetite hormones. Are you listening to that? Hi guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over why you are not seeing results despite being consistent, quote unquote consistent, in your fitness journey. I know that so many people have this problem. I had this problem before as well. I've had people reach out to me with the same problem, and I figured it would be nice to make a video for people to watch or reference when they need help. So before we get into it, please give this video a thumbs up. Please also subscribe if you haven't. Leave a comment in the comment section below, because it helps YouTube to push the video to new viewers, and turn on the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So the first reason you may not be seeing results is because you have a bad diet. And I feel like the word diet has become so dirty in the gym community, or like in the fitness community, especially in Nigeria. I see a lot of toxic diets that are being promoted, and I probably will make a separate video about that. But I see a lot of toxic diet habits that are being promoted in Nigeria, and it really concerns me. So you're probably not seeing results because you still have those bad eating habits. And when I say eating habits, I'm not saying that you should cut out sugar, you should cut out this, you should cut out that. Like, I'm not saying cut out everything that makes you feel good when you eat. You still need carbs, you still need some kind of sugar in your body, right? But what I mean by having a bad diet is like when you're eating in extremely large portions, right? For instance, if you're trying to gain weight, you're better off eating at different times of the day, like maybe 4 to 5 times a day, but in small portions. And those small portions should contain the nutrients that you need. For instance, protein, carbs, vegetables, all that stuff. But in Nigeria, and I say in Nigeria because a lot of my community is in Nigeria, right? In Nigeria, and even in general, people just focus so much on eating carbs. Like even when you eat rice, like you have a big plate of rice and you have just like 1 or 2 chicken strips on it. Like, that's not strips, but like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not good enough. Diets like that, like just having a bad eating habit, or eating plates of food that are too large. And I know this thing kind of varies based on your appetite, but if you're doing that, you're not exactly going to see your results, especially if you are one of those people who eats really late at night. Like, you're turning semo by 1 a.m. How do you expect to, I mean, like, you need to fix the habits that will support you in hitting your goals. And let me even say this, a lot of the time, like, the body that you're dreaming of, food is one of the key components of you achieving those goals. So you need to kind of curb how you eat. And this is not me fear mongering. I don't preach fear of food. I don't think people should be scared of food. I think people should explore food more. I think the Nigerian palate is really, really good for experimentation. So it all depends on if you know how to cook and you know what to cook, but I'm not going to get into all that here. But yeah, your diet is one of the reasons why you are probably not seeing results. If you're eating more carbs than protein, and again, I understand the economic realities, okay? I'm not tone deaf, but if you're eating more carbs than protein, you are not eating any fiber to help you move your bowels, or to help your bowels move, and to also aid in digestion. If you're not drinking enough water, if you keep drinking only soda, you're not drinking water, you're not going to see results. I'm sorry if you hear some kind of creaking on the ground. My floor is made of wood, so I move a lot when I'm talking, so the ground is creaking, so I'm sorry about that. But the next reason why you are probably not seeing results is because you are taking unsustainable ways to attain your goals. First of all, I think people usually think of fitness like if you want to gain weight, or if you want to lose weight, or if you have certain goals, people think of it as just, okay, let me just lock in for like 6 weeks, or let me just lock in for like 12 weeks, and then I'll see my results and then I can stop. The thing is, if you're trying to do something and you're trying to maintain those results, you have to be prepared to do that thing forever. You have to be prepared to do that thing in the long term. And that's why I don't support things like intermittent fasting or eating one meal a day or switching your diets to be completely liquid. Like, I don't support things like that, because in the long run, they're not sustainable, and that weight you're running away from, you're going to gain it back. And I say this because I see it a lot, but I'm going to talk about that in a separate video. But yeah, you're using unsustainable methods to achieve goals that are supposed to be achieved in the long term, something that's supposed to be a lifestyle. I keep telling people, like, it's a lifestyle, okay? And in as much as I know, like, people, not everybody can be like lifting weights and doing, of course I encourage it, right? But I encourage every kind of movement, if that makes sense. So for instance, if someone is not healthy, I'm not going to expect them to do strenuous activity that's going to impact their health physically. But any kind of movement is good, and you need to do that long term, because that's what your body needs, right? That's how you're going to prevent a lot of diseases, pains, and sicknesses, illnesses, all those things in your older age. So yeah, stop thinking about it from a perspective of, okay, let me just do it between these 3 months or between these 6 months and then I can stop. If you don't build on that discipline, and discipline is something, it's like a muscle, right? It's like intuition. You need to work it consistently for it to keep being there. Some of these unsustainable methods are things like intermittent fasting, 1 meal a day. People call it OMAD, like 1 meal a day, or even like having liquid diets, using waist trainers. Like, these things may work in the short term. In fact, I don't even believe in waist trainers in the first place. I feel like, no, it just no. Okay, there's no need to know. That's one. For the intermittent fasting, like, it's basically you starving yourself for hours on end in order to lose weight because you don't want to eat. And I can understand the motive behind that, but that's not healthy. Okay, if you are doing things during the day, like you go to work, you have children, you have to take care of a home, you need food to fuel you. Like, when I say fuel, I mean like FUEL, fuel. You need food to fuel your body to perform so that it doesn't impact your cognitive functions. Okay, food is not just to feel good. Food actually helps your body to function. And when you start developing that fear of food, or that, oh my gosh, I don't want to eat because I don't want to gain any weight, that becomes really toxic. And that's not what we're trying to do. Okay, I've heard somebody say like they fast for 18 hours a day, and it's just like, guys, we're borderline on ED right now. I don't want to say the word because YouTube is very sensitive, but I'll put it on the screen. We are borderline on ED because why? Because the thing is that when you do things like that to yourself, or even when you just eat once a day, you're conditioning your body to adapt in very severe circumstances. Like, you can do eating 1 meal a day to the point where, especially as a lady, to the point where you stop seeing your period. Because see, the thing is that our bodies are very, very smart. They know exactly what they're doing. So when you starve your body of something has to give. Okay, something is going to stop, and that's where we start getting into the toxicity of it all. And we don't want that for ourselves. Even things like liquid diets. Like, I saw a tweet. This lady said that she lost a ton of, I think she lost like over 10 kilograms of weight, and she was only doing something like a liquid diet. And because I don't like to chastise people when it comes to fitness, because I feel like people get easily scared away, so I try not to chastise them, I put it on my close friend's story, and I was like, all she needs is a whiff. You just need to sniff. You just need a whiff of jollof rice and you will gain that weight back. So these things are not, if it's not sustainable in the long run, then don't do it. Okay, but I'm going to get into more of this in my next video. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why maybe you see results for 2, 3, 4 months and then you have a relapse. It's because the methods that you're taking are not sustainable. My next point is that you are inconsistent. And when I say inconsistent, I don't just mean showing up to the gym today and not showing up tomorrow. That's part of inconsistency, right? But inconsistency can also be not eating your meal prep. It can also be not cooking when you're supposed to cook, not eating the things that you're supposed to eat. Like, you eat pizza, you eat unhealthy foods every other day, and you're not thinking of how to go back, and you don't even have, like, there's no I don't want to say there's no problem with that, because that's not, I don't want to preach that. But if you are eating junk food, right? For instance, me, I can eat junk food and I'm just like, my mentality is, okay, I'm going to the gym tomorrow, I'm going to burn it off when I'm doing my cardio, right? But that doesn't mean that I'm going to start eating junk food all the time. Yeah, you don't have the discipline to think that way. So you're now like poisoning your good routines with the bad ones by being inconsistent. Even when you're going to the gym, maybe you go 3 to 4 times a week, you're not doing any kind of progressive overload, you're not pushing your limits, you're on the treadmill and you're just like casually strolling. Okay, that's not good enough. So if you are inconsistent, there is no way you're going to see results. I think it's just simple math, right? For instance, I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel, although I understand the growth is like super slow, and I've come to be super comfortable with that as well. But the thing is, if I don't put out videos, if I'm not consistent, my numbers are going to drop, my revenue is going to drop, my subscribers are going to drop, my views are going to drop. In fact, my visibility might even drop. So it's just, consistency is what is going to bring you results. If I bring a bucket and I keep using a cup of water to fill up that bucket is not going to get full until I keep filling it up. That's consistency. Okay, so there's no way you're going to see results if you're not consistent. So if you're not consistent, try to find something that pushes you, or try to just be consistent. On the days when you can't go to the gym, try to take walks outside. On the days when you can't even leave your house, try to do some kind of movement in the house. And this is with exceptions to, like, you know, if you're ill or if you're on your period, you know, stuff like that, that just makes you to be indoors and be in bed all day. I can totally understand that. But if you don't have any excuse, then stop giving yourself excuses. Another reason why you may not be seeing results is because you are not pushing your limits. And when I say pushing your limits, I'm specifically referring to weightlifting at the gym. If you are trying to build a certain kind of physique, maybe you're trying to build your quads, maybe you're trying to build your glutes, maybe you're trying to build your back muscles, you're trying to build your triceps, all that stuff, you can't keep lifting baby weights. Yes, I'm talking to you. You can't keep lifting baby weights. You're not pushing your limits. You're not doing any kind of progressive overload. The thing is, when you're at the gym, if you're doing 10 reps of something, your last 2 reps should damn near be a struggle. I'm not saying you should enjoy yourselves, okay? That's not what I'm saying. You should have enough strength to push through it, right? But it should still take some kind of effort, because those are your growth reps. Those two hard reps at the end, those are your growth reps. So yeah, you're not pushing your limits. And if you want to see any kind of growth, even in your career, even in any, see, this applies, you know why I love preaching the gym? Because it applies to almost everything we do in life. If you're not pushing your limits, you're not going to see any growth, end of. If you're not trying to make more money, you're not going to have more money. If you're not looking for a job, you're not going to get a job. Do you understand what I mean? So you need to constantly push your limits if you want to see some kind of growth. I'll give you guys an example. I used to be really insecure about my quads because I'm a glutes dominant person. I've always wanted, in fact, I don't even train my glutes anymore. I don't train my glutes at all. But I always wanted to grow my quad muscles, and I'm going to add pictures here because my thighs always would look so thin, and my bum is just there, like it's just bam, it's just there. And I used to feel so bad because I'm telling you, this was even when I first started going to the gym. People would ask me flat out, "Oh, where did you do your bum?" And I'm like, do I look like I have a botched BBL? Do you understand what I mean? So I had to start putting, and I really don't like leg day. I promise you, I don't like it. I only do it because I have to. I prefer doing upper body. But I started trying to push my limits. What did I start doing? I started doing front squats. I started doing walking lunges. I didn't used to like walking lunges, but now that's one of my staples for leg day, for quad growth. Okay, so these are things that you need to think of. If you are not pushing your limits, you're not going to see results. Stop carrying baby weights. Those 2 kg dumbbells, 2-pound dumbbells, they're not going to do anything for you, because those dumbbells are what we use in Pilates classes, right? You use those for some kind of endurance, like when you're doing repetitive movements, or maybe like 10 to 12 or even 20 repetitive movements, right? That's what that's for. But when you're doing proper weightlifting, go and pick up the big girl weights, go and pick up the big boy weights and do the damn thing. Stop using those baby weights, okay? It's time for everybody to grow up, okay? The next reason why you're not seeing results is alcohol. I know this one is kind of touchy, but if you want to see some kind of progressive results and you're drinking every weekend, your name is sorry, okay? And I don't mean that in a condescending way, it's just the truth. Because I think I've said this before, but alcohol reduces your metabolism a lot, okay, by a lot. And there is already a lot of you who poo like once or twice a week. So imagine that's like your bowel's not moving enough, and then you're drinking alcohol to still limit your bowel movement and limit like your metabolic rate. That's a recipe for disaster, and that's why you're always bloated. That's why okay, I'm getting into very muddy waters here, but let me keep it at that's why you're always bloated, because you're literally full of shit. Okay, your stomach, your bowels are not moving. You're not releasing enough waste. You're supposed to poo every day. Okay, some of you still don't poo every day, and it's very concerning to me. So if you are trying to hit your goals and you drink a lot, okay, I'm not against alcohol, far be it from me, I drink, okay? My parents never hid alcohol from me. It's never been a problem for me. Like if I go out, in fact, if I go out to a party, like a club or something, I need some alcohol so that I can, get loose and dance and all that stuff. But I don't do that every weekend. I will do that maybe like once a month. And I can do that comfortably because I know that I am disciplined enough to go to the gym the next day, even if I have a hangover. Go to the gym the next day, burn off some of those calories, and get back on track with my diet and do some kind of extra cardio. But if you don't have that kind of discipline or consistency, then please cut back on the alcohol that you are drinking. Okay, even when you drink alcohol casually, wine is alcohol. Even non-alcoholic wine is still alcohol, because wine by definition is alcohol because it's fermented. Do you understand what I mean? So if you are drinking heavily or you drink a lot, you need to reduce how much you drink or just stop it. Okay, especially if it's liquor and all those things, that's nasty. Wine is even better, but like the other stuff, ew, no. My last point is that you are not sleeping enough. You're not getting enough sleep. I know people have brainwashed a lot of people into thinking that getting enough sleep is equal to being lazy. But if you think of the way the human body functions, you need sleep, especially if you're a woman. I think men can function on like 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Women need at least 8, at least. So we should be getting between 8 and 9 hours of sleep. Now, this is not me telling you that you should sleep your way into oblivion, okay? I'm not saying that if you have responsibilities, you should ignore your responsibilities and sleep. You will make that decision for yourself because it's your life, okay? I'm just telling you what is more, what's the word now? I'm telling you what is more helpful for you. So personally, I don't joke with my sleep, and I work from home, so I have the quote-unquote luxury to sleep in or sleep late and get enough hours of sleep. But if maybe you have 2 jobs, maybe like you live a very busy life, as much as possible when you can, try to squeeze in some naps, try to sleep early, try to get off your phone and let your brain rest. Your body already does enough work during the day as it is, so it's very important for you to, let your brain rest and help. Gosh, I feel like I studied before I make these videos, right? But some of these things just leave my head when I'm talking about them. Okay, I'm back. I actually Googled this because I want to say this in this video. Sleep has so many benefits. First of all, cognitive function. So it improves your attention, your focus, and your memory. It enhances learning and problem-solving abilities. It regulates your mood and reduces your stress levels. Okay, you're stressed out, but you're not sleeping enough. That's a recipe for disaster. For your physical health, it reduces the risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Okay, it promotes tissue repair and strengthens the immune system. Do you know what happens if your immune system is compromised? That means your body cannot even fight against things that are trying to kill you or things that could potentially kill you. Sleep also helps maintain a healthy weight by regulating appetite hormones. Are you listening to that? It helps you maintain a healthy weight, and a healthy weight is not just being skinny or being stick thin. You can be healthy and be big boned, okay? everybody's body looks different. So I don't want to get into controversial waters, but yeah. Sleep also reduces the risk of depression, anxiety, and other mood disorders. It improves emotional regulation and coping mechanisms. I listen to that. A lot of people don't have any sort of emotional regulation, so you need sleep for that. It consolidates memories and enhances recall, which means it helps you to improve your memory. These are all the benefits of sleep. Sleep also helps helps muscle to repair itself. Because when you go to the gym, what are you doing? You're putting stress on your muscles. You're putting stress on your body. When you sleep, that's when your body can do all those repairs. So if you are getting 3-4 hours of sleep a night and calling it a day, stop doing that. That's exactly why you're probably not even seeing results. So please try to sleep, okay? With that being said, we've come to the end of this video. If you watched the video fully, let me know in the comments. If you have anything else to add, let me know in the comments as well. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments as well. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this video, very, very important. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click on the notification bell so you make sure you get all my videos when they drop, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.